everyone, Ace of Clay here, and welcome to another video. If you are new here, I'm a sculptor, and every week I make a new sculpture. In today's video for the Halloween finale, we're making Dracula. This is the sculpture that I've wanted to make since starting this channel, and I just wanted to save him for Halloween, and the time has finally come. To make him, I will be using Cosclay, which is a brand new polymer clay that stays flexible after you bake it. I will talk more about it later in the video. And then before we start making Dracula, I just want to plug my Facebook group really quick, Aces of Clay. It's a great group for people to come together to share sculptures, have good conversations, and really enjoy a great environment surrounded by fellow sculptors. So if you like sculpting or you just like looking at art, join the group. I promise it's cool and you'll have fun. Just click the link in the description box below or search Aces of Clay on Facebook. And last but certainly not least, as part of the Halloween finale, I asked you guys to share your Halloween artwork with me, and man, did you deliver. I will be displaying all of it at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that and then grab a snack because there's a lot. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's make Dracula. For the first step, I'm going to shape out Dracula's legs, torso, and shoulders from this 12 gauge aluminum wire. And then I found my new wire cutters, so I'm going to use those to trim it. Then to secure everything, I'm going to use some floral wire to tie the waist together. Then for the arms, I'm using a smaller gauge wire and twisting it against itself just so I can make the arms a little bit stronger. Once those are done, I'm going to attach them to the shoulders with some floral wire. And as always, all of the materials and tools that I use in this video are listed in the description box below, along with my affiliate links if you want to purchase anything. And it looks like we're done with the wire. Time to bulk out the torso with some aluminum foil. And then instead of using masking tape, because I'm getting sick of masking tape, I'm just going to secure the torso with some more foil. Now that the armature is complete, it's time to start adding clay. For this project, I'll be using only Cosclay. Cosclay is from the makers of Monster Clay, and it's a brand new polymer clay that's not yet on the market, and what makes it special is that it stays flexible after it's baked. This is the first time I'm using this clay for an entire sculpture. Now, straight out of the package, we're going to start conditioning. They have 3 firmnesses: Cosclay Soft, which is what I'm using, Medium, and Firm. I can compare the firmness of the soft Cosclay to the firmest Super Sculpey, so this felt like Super Sculpey Firm to me. And then after rolling it through my pasta maker, which was relatively easy, I just conditioned it a little bit more and we're going to start adding it to the figure. Now in terms of how it feels and what it's like to work with, it's pretty pleasant. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Since I'm recording this voiceover after the sculpture is done, I've had some more time to get used to it. Right off the bat, it did take a little bit of getting used to for me, but for the most part, it was a very familiar experience. And then I left this footage in real time just so you guys can kind of get an idea for what it's like to actually work with it. Alright, once the legs and torso are covered, let's see if it stands. And surprisingly, it does. I can't believe it. Now I'm just going to shape out his shoes from some clay and then attach them. And then to put these on, I just cut a little slit through the top of the foot, added that wire in there, and then blended everything together. Alright, once the shoes are on, we're just going to roll out a snake of clay to finish the bottom of the pant leg. And then using our spoon tool, we're going to blend that top edge of that snake of clay in with the rest of his leg. And now it's time for more snakes of clay to create the folds and wrinkles on his pants. Alright, his first leg is looking pretty good. Then we're just going to do the other leg off camera, then work our way up and add some clay for the neck. And then of course this is after adding that bamboo skewer for the neck armature. Once the neck is on and blended, we're just going to add the collar for his button-down shirt. Is it a button-down shirt or is it a button-up shirt? Vote in my little poll. Then because we don't want Dracula to have a popped collar, we're going to put that down, and now we're going to draw the line where the shirt will button in the front. And then speaking of buttons, we're adding some buttons. And then for his tuxedo jacket, we're just adding this flat sheet of clay, like so, and then blending the top edge in with the rest of his torso. This will create the end of the jacket. And then for some final details on the jacket, we're going to add some snakes of clay to create some more folds and wrinkles. Once everything's looking pretty good, we're going to add some lapels to separate the undershirt from the jacket. This is super easy and super effective. Then we're going to finish off that jacket with some fancy buttons. And then, instead of giving him a tie or a bow tie, I'm going to give him a nice little gemstone type of brooch thing that's going to go in between his collar and the front. So I'm just cutting out this diamond shape, making a little stone, and then the little prongs to hold the stone in. And then we're just going to stick it on behind the collar. And that's looking pretty good. Now we're going to go in and detail his shoes. I'm using this flat spatula stainless steel tool to make the sole of the shoe, and then I'm going in with my Explorer tool to create the seams in the shoe. Then we're going to add some shoelaces. Now we're going to finish them off with some stitching. And he's ready for his first bake. We're going to bake this at 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Then once he's baked and completely cooled down, let's see if he bends. And he does! How cool is that? Awesome, awesome stuff. Very cool. Like even the thin parts. Check it out. Alright, for the next step, we're going to cover the arms in clay, the same way that we did the legs. Then once both arms are covered in clay, to make this guy a little more villainous, we're going to add some points to his shoulders. I thought this was a nice touch. I love how those points look. Alright, now that those are on, we're just going to go in and add some folds and wrinkles to the arms. I'm going to expedite this process because you've seen it a million times already. I'm going to use my bamboo skewer to make some wrinkles. Now it's time for the head. I'm just shaping out the core from aluminum foil and covering that in clay. Like that, getting my nice vampire head shape that I want, adding a skewer to hold on to. Now I'm pressing in these oversized eye sockets with my large ball stylus. Then I'm going to deepen them with my medium ball stylus, and then add the eye. Check out that fit though. Wow. Now for some eyelids. These are just tiny snakes of clay that I am shaping out with my spoon tool. Then once all the eyelids are on, I'm going to go in with my Explorer tool to add some little wrinkles. And then add some wrinkles above the eyes as well, just to create some more texture. Now we're going to bring out his brow bone a little bit. Everybody knows I like a nice exaggerated brow bone every once in a while. And then of course these are just little snakes of clay that I'm blending into the rest of his face. Making sure everything's nice and even. Now for his nose. Just shaped out this triangle shape attaching it and then blending the edges in with my spoon tool. Now it's time to add the nostrils with this tiny ball stylus. Next, we're going to press out the mouth area with my spoon tool, and then adding a nice little frown with my explorer tool. Then we're going to continue finessing things and shaping things out with a couple different tools. Got my medium ball stylus, my explorer tool of course, spoon tool in a couple places. And then I'm pressing in his cheeks a little bit to give him a gaunt appearance. Just doing this with my fingertips. Then we're going to go in and add a couple wrinkles here and there. Then we're going to add a little bit more clay to sort of enhance his frown and kind of give him jowls. And he looks okay, still a little ways to go, but that's fine. We're just going to bring out his chin a little bit, and I'm being careful to make sure this doesn't look like a witch, so I need to, sort of tone down some features. Now we're just adding some little fangs and then an upper lip. And I remember this point in the process was when I started liking it. Now we're going to give him some long, pointy vampire ears. There's his first ear, and his second one. Time to bake. Once the head's baked and completely cooled down, let's check for flexibility. Wow, there we go. Let's see his teeth. Even the teeth are flexible. Alright, time for the hair. Just adding some more clay on top of his head. I want to give him a pretty crazy hairdo. I don't want it to be subtle at all, so just starting to shape it out here, figuring out where his hairline is going to be. And then I want to continue this like pointy theme that I have going on with him, like the shoulders, the ears. He'll have a big collar that's pointy too, so just adding some points to his hair. Kind of goes off to either side. After finishing off the other side, we're going to take full advantage of Cosclay's properties, and we're going to create these nice wispy pieces of hair and flyaways that really add character to this guy. And that's looking pretty good. I think the hair is my favorite part. Now I'm going to go in with my explorer tool to texture it, creating these nice even lines over the entire surface of the hair. And there we go. His hair's done. Now we're just going to attach his head with a little bit of Bacon Bond, and then finish off his neck with some more clay. Then for the next step, we're going to start his hands. I want to give him very long, creepy vampire hands. So we're just cutting out the fingers from that shape there, and then sort of twisting each finger to round it out and get the fingers to the length that I would like. And then I'm attaching the thumb and the ball of the hand as one piece, of course. And we're going to go in and add these little balls to create the knuckles. Then we're going to repeat that knuckle process on each of the finger joints. Then we're going to go in and add a couple veins, blend those in. then finish the hand off with some long pointy nails. Check it out! I think this is my favorite hand I've ever made. Then after trimming the wire in the arm, we're just going to attach the hand like so, and then position the fingers a little bit. Then we're going to add this nice little flattened snake of clay to finish off his sleeve. Now we're going to do the other hand off camera. Then once both hands are done and he's been baked again and he's completely cooled down, it's time for the cape. But first, does it bend? Yes, it does. Check it out, even the super thin parts. Alright, let's start the cape. I rolled out this giant piece of Cosclay through my pasta maker, of course, and then I'm just sort of measuring it on him and trimming it to size. Then once I get the shape that I want, I'm going to sort of pleat it at the top to create some nice waves down the back. I just kind of want to see where it's going to fall on him. Then I'm just going to shape it out before I add it to him, because it's just easier this way. After getting the wrinkles started, we're going to add a little bit of bake and bond, and then press on the cape. Then once the cape is attached and secure, we're just going to mess with it until it looks exactly how I want. And then I really don't have any tips on how to make capes. They're actually like one of my least favorite things to sculpt. So I'm kind of just winging it, just pressing in different folds here and there, and, you know, making it look passable, making it make sense as much as possible, and then just making it so it is aesthetically pleasing. Now we're just gonna give him a nice little collar, attach that and blend it in with the cape. And then where the cape sort of drapes over the front of his shoulder, I'm just adding another piece of clay. Then I'm going to add these little buttons for the cape to hook onto on his coat. That's looking good. Time for the final bake. Then once he's baked and completely cooled down, it's time for paint. All of the paints that I use in this video are Folk Art brand matte acrylics, and they work great on Cosclay, not gonna lie. So to create this nice blood red color, I mixed grass green, imperial red, and a little bit of pure black. Then I darkened that red color with a little bit more pure black, and I'm going into all of the recessed areas on his cape to darken them a little bit and just give it a little more dimension. Then to finish off the red on the cape, I'm going in with some straight up imperial red to highlight areas and really bring out that nice blood tone. Now we're going to go in and start his face. I'm putting a nice base coat of dove gray mixed with a little bit of pure black and true blue. We're going to paint his hands too, of course. And then darken the eye socket area with some of that same gray color that I added a little bit more pure black to. Now I'm going to go in and add some highlights using the color Boulder straight out of the bottle, and then I'm going to lighten these a little bit more with some pure dove gray. Then I'm going to go in sparingly with some pure magenta into some of the crevices in his face. Then we're going to dry brush some lighter color on the hands, and then paint his eyes pure imperial red. Start the teeth with some buttercup and finish them off with warm white. We're going to use that warm white again on his shirt, like that, and then we're going to add some shadows here and there with some boulder. Just adding that now. Now it's time to paint the rest of his suit and the back of his cape pure black. Now we're going to paint the buttons on his shirt black too, buttons on his jacket gold, the brooch gold with a red stone of course, and then we're going to paint his hair warm white and tint it a little bit with some dove gray. I'm glad I made his hair white and not black. Then for the last step we're going to glaze his eyes, buttons, and shoes with some high gloss acrylic varnish. And he's done! My version of Dracula is complete. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then stay tuned until the end of the video so you can see everybody's Halloween artwork. And that's a wrap. I really hope you like my version of Dracula. I really like him. Let me know what you think in the comments. I loved using Cosclay to bring him to life. I will link Cosclay's website in the description box below so that you can get more info. And don't forget, join my Facebook group, Aces of Clay. We'd love to have you. And as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And then follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Ace of Clay. And have a safe and very happy Halloween. See you in the next video.